Hello there and welcome to the Bicycle Diaries. You join me today on a very quick little 25k ride on my Southwick route. It's Sunday afternoon, don't have a huge amount of time, so I just thought I'd go out and do a quick little easy run on this route today. The weather today isn't all that bad, but then having said that, it's not that great either. It's 9 degrees Celsius and there is an incredibly strong wind coming from the southwest, about 40 kilometers an hour, and I'm riding straight into it at the moment. Hopefully it will be with me on the way back. One of my rides last week, I just could not get warm no matter what I did, and despite the fact that I was wrapped up fairly warm with 3 layers on. And then some of the people on the channel suggested that I invested in some Gore kit, so for example a jacket with Gore technology in it, and I suddenly remembered, I've actually got one of those. My other half gave it to me a few years ago now, and it's the one I'm wearing at the moment. And so far, okay, it's a few degrees warmer than it was last week. It's keeping me warm enough. I wouldn't say I'm overly warm, but I'm not desperately cold either. Well, that shows how strong the wind is. Turn that corner there in Southwick, which was effectively a 90-degree turn, and I'm now heading for home, and I've got the wind behind me and I can really feel it. This is actually my 4th and final ride of the week. On Monday I went out and took on one of my nemesis climbs up Harvesting Hill, and if you're interested in how I did, I vlogged it, so I'll leave a link to that at the end of this one. And then on Tuesday the weather was actually quite nice, and I went out and did my longest ride of the year at 80 kilometers. And then on Friday the weather was just terrible, so I did a turbo session indoors, and today I'm out on the Southwick route. The 80-kilometer ride that I did on Tuesday wasn't too bad actually. The weather was really nice, and yeah, I thought I'd just go for it. But yeah, I did get a little bit tired towards the end there, and it did start to get a bit cold. But all in all, I think it was a overwhelming success for me, because I'm trying to build up to be able to do a 100-kilometer ride as soon as possible. And obviously 80 kilometers to 100 kilometers isn't that big of a leap. Last 5 kilometers or so now, and as you can see, the clouds are starting to gather, and it's even started to rain a little bit, but hopefully I'll be back home before it starts really raining. So there we go, that's another 28 kilometers in the bag, and I don't mind admitting that I didn't enjoy riding in that headwind one little bit. It was incredibly strong, and even the tailwind, once I kind of got used to it, died off a little bit, and it wasn't giving me quite as much assistance as I first thought it would. Nevertheless, I still got home, and it was still a good ride, and I'm glad I did it. And that brings the week's total to, I've ridden 156 kilometers, I've got 7 hours of seat time, and I've climbed 1,336 meters. And that brings the year's total to, I've ridden 1,054 kilometers, I've got 46 hours of seat time, and I've climbed 9,727 meters. I felt last week started off with a couple of really big bangs, so taking on the monster climb of Harvesting Lane, and then going out and doing my longest ride of the year at 80 kilometers. But unfortunately I then felt it ended with a little bit of a whimper, so the indoor turbo training session on Friday, and then today's ride of 28 kilometers. Hopefully the weather next week is actually forecasting to be pretty good, so it's forecasting a bit of sunshine and some nice temperatures of between 11 and 15 degrees Celsius. So with any luck I'll be going out and doing at least 4 rides actually out on the road, and one of them may even be another 80 kilometer ride. Thanks for watching.